Welcome back to another captivating session of the Global English Competitiveness. Today, we're entering the final phase of Unit 2, the art of discerning hobbies. Prepare your writing tools as we embark on a journey into the realm of hobbies. To recap, we have 4 can-do objectives in this unit. First, to differentiate between hobbies and interests by defining their distinct characteristics and elements. Second, to explore the importance of understanding the differences between hobbies and interests in order to effectively prioritize and allocate time and resources. Third, use adverbs to show manner of action, degree of action, place of action, and time of action. And fourth, use the different types of adverbs in writing and in speaking. As you can remember, we have already covered our first 3 can-do objectives, where you differentiated between hobbies and interest by defining their distinct characteristics and elements. You've also explored the importance of understanding the differences between hobbies and interests in order to effectively prioritize and allocate time and resources. In the previous lesson, you used adverbs to show manner of action, degree of action, place of action, and time of action. Now, let's focus on our 4th objective, to use the different types of adverbs in writing and in speaking. Without further ado, let's move over to our last lesson for this unit, 2D, the hobby of great judgment. And here are the sub-lessons that will help us achieve our objective. Vocabulary, listening, grammar, speaking, reading, and writing. So, let's begin the lesson with a vocabulary activity. Enhance your vocabulary skills and expand your knowledge of words related to decision-making and good judgment. Match column A to column B. Use the hints provided in the box. Pause the video to start answering. Here are the correct answers. Moving on to the listening activity, let's listen to the conversation on good judgment and decision making.
Hi, Mary. I've been contemplating the significance of good judgment in our everyday lives. It's fascinating how our choices can wield such a substantial influence.
Absolutely, Joanne. Sound judgment is a vital skill that enables us to effectively solve problems and manage stress. It even fortifies our relationships and enhances productivity.
Exactly. To cultivate strong decision-making abilities, we must thoughtfully consider all the available options and contemplate the potential consequences of our actions.
I concur. It's also crucial to recognize our own biases and prejudices, as they can obscure our judgment and impede us from making sound decisions.
Absolutely. We ought to gather all the requisite information, evaluate it impartially, and then make decisions based on that knowledge. Seeking guidance from reliable individuals can also steer us toward making the right choices.
And let's not overlook our past experiences. They offer a valuable framework for our decision-making process, enabling us to apply effective approaches from the past while avoiding repeating past errors.
Without a doubt, as the saying goes, practice makes perfect. By putting our decision-making skills into action and consistently practicing, we can refine our judgment and confidently navigate various situations.
I couldn't agree more, Joanne. Transforming great judgment into a hobby will undoubtedly lead us to a more favorable outcomes in life.
Absolutely, Mary. Let's continue honing our decision-making skills and strive for exceptional judgment in all aspects of our lives.
Now let's test your listening comprehension skills. Pause the video and answer items number 1 to 3. Continue answering items number 4 and 5. Here are the correct answers. Now let's move on to the next macro skill, grammar. Today our focus will be on future perfect continuous. The future perfect continuous tense is employed when describing an action that will be ongoing and will be finished in the future before a certain point in time. The future perfect continuous tense has the following order: subject plus the auxiliary verb will plus another auxiliary verb have, and then the next auxiliary verb been, which is the past participle of the verb be, and our main verb in its present participle, or the base form plus ing. Take a look at the following examples. I will have been working for 4 hours. Will have been working. Again, the base word is work plus the ing, it becomes working. I will have been working for 4 hours. Next, you will have been traveling for 2 days. In the creation of negative future perfect tense, we just put the word not in between will and have. For example, she will not have been using the car. And we will not have been waiting long. In forming questions, we switch the subject and the auxiliary verb will. For example, will you have been playing football? Will they have been watching TV? So our auxiliary verb will be at the beginning of the sentence instead of the subject. When using the future perfect continuous tense in spoken English, it is typical to condense the subject and the auxiliary verb will. Here are a couple of examples. First one, they will have been staying in that city for 10 years next month. Now take a look at the table. They will becomes they'll. Again, this is only for spoken English. So the sentence would sound like, they'll have been staying in that city for 10 years next month. The second one, by the end of the week, she'll have been working on this project. She will becomes she'll. Next, third example, we will have been traveling for 12 hours when we reach our destination. We will becomes will. And the last one, he'll have been practicing the piano for 5 years. He will becomes he'll. In negative sentences, we contract will not to won't. Take a look at the table. I will not becomes I won't. You will not becomes you won't. He will not becomes he won't. She will not, she won't. It will not, it won't. We will not, we won't. And they will not becomes they won't. Again, this is only for spoken English, casual speech. Here are a couple of examples. They won't have been working on the project all day when the deadline comes. Second one, he won't have been playing the guitar for a year by the time of the concert. And the third one, the team won't have been practicing for weeks before the big match. Now that you know the structure of future perfect continuous and its contraction, how can we utilize it? The future perfect continuous tense is like the future perfect tense, but it shows actions or situations that will be ongoing or continuous for a longer period of time before a specific event or time in the future. For example, Lorena will have been driving for an hour by the time he sees her, as she started driving at 3 a.m. and he isn't able to arrive before 5 a.m. Take a look at the graphic illustration. The future perfect continuous tense emphasizes the duration and continuity of an action or state leading up to a specific event or time in the future. It highlights that the action or state will be ongoing until that future point is reached. Take a look at these examples. First one, They'll have been achieving on the design for 2 months by the end of this year. This sentence highlights that the action of achieving on the design will continue for a duration of 2 months, leading up to the end of the year. The emphasis is on the continuity of their efforts until that specific future point. Second example, when he wakes up, the party will have been going on all night. Here, it's emphasized that the party will be in progress for the entire night until the moment he wakes up. The future perfect continuous tense stresses the ongoing nature of the party up to that particular future event, which is his waking up. Third example, by the time we finish our road trip, we will have been driving for 10 hours. This example indicates that the action of driving will continue for a duration of 10 hours leading up to the moment when they finish their road trip. It underscores the continuous nature of the driving activity until the specified future point. And for the last example, she will have been practicing the piano for months when the recital takes place. This sentence emphasizes that the action of practicing the piano will persist for an unspecified duration of months leading up to the occurrence of the recital. The focus is on the ongoing effort she puts into practicing until the specific future event, which is the recital. Let's put your grammar knowledge to a test. Read each sentence and complete the gaps with the appropriate future perfect continuous tense of the verb. Write only the letter of your answer. Pause the video to start answering. Now here are the correct answers. All right, moving on to our speaking activity. For this task, you will use your imagination to envision a unique hobby or interest that doesn't currently exist but could be possible in the future. You will describe this futuristic hobby using the future perfect continuous tense and explore various aspects such as the activities involved, required skills, and potential impact. Take the time to read the following instructions. Feel free to employ CCAI to check, practice, and improve your pronunciation during speaking exercises. Confirm the accuracy of your pronunciation and effortlessly enhance your speaking skills. You may now pause the video and start working on this activity. Moving on to the next sub-lesson, reading. Read the passage with me. The Hobby of Great Judgment by Winona Marie Garces. Every day we encounter situations requiring us to make sound decisions or sensible choices. We must be able to exercise sound judgment as our choices impact our lives. Good judgment is the ability to come up with a reasonable decision or conclusion after considering all the attending circumstances. This vital life skill will help us solve problems effectively, manage anxiety and stress, strengthen relationships, and increase productivity at school or work. To develop good decision-making skills, you must first look into all the options presented before us and think carefully about the consequences of our actions. Furthermore, we need to remove our biases and prejudices as these can cloud our judgment. Our opinions on particular subjects based on insufficient facts may hinder us from making good decisions. Thus, we must gather facts, evaluate them, and objectively decide. In addition, we can seek advice and listen to people we know can guide us in making the right decisions. We may also look into our past experiences, create a framework based on our choices, and apply what suits the current challenges. We can employ those strategies that have worked for us and avoid repeating those that didn't. Now to test your reading comprehension skills, answer the following questions. Pause the video and answer items number 1 to 3. Continue answering items number 4 and 5. Now here are the correct answers. And we're down to the final activity for this lesson. You're going to write a personal reflection and action plan exploring the importance of developing good judgment as a college student and how it can contribute to personal growth and success. Use future perfect continuous in writing. You can also follow the tips on your screen. Pause the video and start working on this activity. After sharing your insights through writing, you may utilize ChatGPT to assess the quality of your write-ups, ensuring clarity and coherence and adherence to instructions. Edit as needed and save or share as required. And with that, we have covered our final objective for this unit, which is to use the different types of adverbs in writing and in speaking. In this lesson, we enhanced your vocabulary on words related to decision-making and good judgment. We listened to a conversation on sound judgment and decision-making. Then we discussed the future perfect continuous tense. You also described your futuristic hobby. Then we read a passage and answered the comprehension questions. Finally, you wrote a personal reflection and action plan. Thank you for your active participation in Unit 2, My Hobbies and Interests. As you continue to pursue your passions, remember to embrace the diversity of your interests and find harmony in your pursuits. We look forward to seeing you in the next unit, where we'll delve even deeper into the fascinating world of English competitiveness.